Hello and welcome to just one more Phoebus. It has been a long time since I last said that at the beginning of a video. Back in the early days of the channel, I used to review a ton of Phoebuses, but at some point I just kind of stopped. They're good watches, but some of their designs were getting a little bit out there for my rather conservative tastes. However, I always kept one of them in my collection, a watch that I considered to be their best, and a watch that was out of stock for the longest time, but is now back in stock. That watch is the Eagle Ray GMT. I had a blue one in my collection for a couple of years and I wore it quite a bit, but blue has never really been my colour. So I sold the blue one a couple of months ago and I just bought a white one. So no pop-up, no siren today. This is not a sponsored video. I bought the watch myself. I'll leave a link in the description of the video and a discount code should you feel the need to buy one for yourself. But the company has made one small but crucial change between my old blue version and my new white version. See if you can spot it before I point it out. Let's flip the camera and have a look at it. All right, let's get on with it. Bit of a quickie video today. And you know what? It's actually quite nice to see the old King Octopus there on a watch case for the first time in a couple of years. I don't think I've reviewed a Phoebus since 2022. Let's talk price. Now these are 250 USD shipped either from China or from a USA warehouse, thereby avoiding USA tariffs, which is always handy. 10% discount code off that equals 225 USD landed. Now I know what you're thinking, micro brand, 200-ish US dollar GMT. You're thinking Seiko NH34 movement. But this model actually predates the release of the NH34. This one uses a Swiss-made Ronda 515 GMT in quartz. Now I'm sure some of you just clicked off in disgust, but not before leaving me an angry comment. However, others, I'm sure, just had their interest piqued in this one precisely because it is quartz. I've spoken about this before. I have a vast and unruly watch collection. When I'm buying stuff for me, as I just did with this one, I tend to favour quartz because it's set and forget. It sits in a box and it's there ready for me to slap on my wrist when I want to. So I've always thought this was a bit of a rarity, a bit of a unicorn, even within Phoebus's own lineup, precisely because of the fact that it is battery powered. Dimensions then, another reason why I like this one is because I always thought the dimensions were a real sweet spot for my wrist. So 41 mil in diameter, 12.2 mil thick, nice and compact, 47 mil lug to lug, 20 mils between the lugs. Weight as supplied, as standard on this black tropic rubber band is 85 grams, 300 meters of water resistance, both of those crowns screw down, double domed sapphire with blue anti-reflective undercoating, and as discussed, the movement in the back is a Ronda 515 GMT. Alright then, so you've now had a good look at this new white model. Have you spotted the difference yet between this and the blue one? Well, let's put the two watches side by side. Not a lot to choose between them, but there is one, or should that be 12, minor differences. They deleted the Romans. I always used to quite enjoy this model because it had a mixture of Romans and Arabics. You stick the giant octopus on there and there's definitely a bit of steampunk. Perhaps the new model has lost a touch of character, but I'm not sure if anyone else will be mourning the Romans like I am. Case is nice too, satin finish 316L stainless steel with a knurled bezel, and the octopus features once more on both of the crowns. The tropic strap is a tropic strap, nothing else really I can say about it. It does exactly what every other tropic strap I've ever seen does. Quick release spring bars, the strap itself is not branded, but the hardware is. No surprises from the Ronda Swiss Quartz in here. I did replace the battery in the blue one, so I reckon that means there's about 3 years of life. Nice satisfying pop when the crown is unscrewed. Now on the first pull, doesn't hack the movement. You can roll the date forwards or you can roll the GMT hand backwards to adjust it there. One more pull and it hacks. Effectively, it works exactly the same as a collar GMT. Also something you don't see every day, the GMT bezel is internal, operated by this second crown up there at the 2 o'clock. Nice action on this one, again satisfying pop when you unscrew it, and you can feel the little notches here, no problems at all screwing it down exactly where you want it to either. Alright, let's have a look at the dial and hands, and let's have a look through my macro lens. Now, I did try and swap that blue dial version last year for one of the black dial and photinid versions of this watch. The guy ended up selling it, so that deal didn't happen. But they say everything happens for a reason, and I'm quite happy to have picked up this white one. I love the black surrounds to the hands, the black surrounds to the indices. I love the black train track minute markers beyond those indices. And I like that they've used just a tiny little bit of colour. The GMT hand, the GMT marking on the dial, and the triangle on the GMT bezel itself. Now, the blocky syringe hands on this model have always reminded me anyway of the Blancpain Bathyscapes, and I'm sure that's the watch that Phoebus looked to for inspiration. I've never been 100% convinced though that the proportions of those hands were quite right. That'll feature in the moans and niggles section shortly. And I'm sure that for some of you, the giant octopus on the dial would also be either a moan or a niggle. I've always quite liked it. It's a bit of fun and not something you see on the vast majority of watch dials, that's for sure. On wrist, no surprises for me today because I am so familiar with this watch. I've always enjoyed its size. 41, so you're getting a little bit more dial space, a little bit more real estate than you would with a 40, but still compact 47mm lug to lug with a decent downturn from those lugs as well. Nice comfortable tropic strap, but they could do with another couple of layers of anti-reflective, evidently blue anti-reflective undercoating on the sapphire crystal. Legibility is excellent though, another reason why I'm happy that I did in the end up with this white dial with black surrounds version. It really does help. Alright, moans and niggles. Now, you haven't seen the Lume, which means I'm going to complain about the Lume, but why on earth would I complain about Lume that looks like this? Well, it only looks like this initially. It's not a watch that when you're getting into these low light transitions, when you're coming in from outside, you can see it glowing on your wrist, which suggests that the Lume doesn't last as long as it should. And when I turn the speed up on this one, when we get to the end of my test, yeah, it hasn't lasted across the board like it should. They've clearly revised this one a couple of times now. They should have added another couple of layers of Lume, I reckon, to go along with another couple of layers of anti-reflective undercoating. And it is a real nitpick, this one, but I reckon the hour hand could be a little bit shorter. I think the tip should just be scraping the base of one of those circles, whereas it's just maybe half a mil too far up. Yeah, that's a real nitpick, isn't it? But there is a good reason why I singled out this model in particular from Phoebus's vast array of watches to have in my personal collection, and indeed why I have ended up rebuying this white model. And that's because it's just a bloody good all-rounder, if you like quartz. So, there you have it. Perhaps the Seiko NH34 did not do watches like this any favours, but that is not to say they still don't have a place. Hence, why I just bought another one. Well done for making it all the way to the end. If you would like to see my original review of the GMT, click here, or another watch that I would love to see them bring back, the Eagle Ray Bronze, click here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over there.